Toynado!
Hi, I'm Anthony. I've started my own school for gifted youngsters. The curriculum is wildly inconsistent. The age and ability of my students are vastly different. And frankly, the whole place is an OH&S issue.
I don't even know where we're going with this, people.
And with me is a man who was born in the Ust-Ordinsky Collective, can turn his skin into metal, and has cheated death more than once. It's Pete.
I may not know where we're going, but I sound freaking cool.
Today, we're looking at the magic with flame-shooting Lockheed the Dragon from the 1998 Toy Biz line X-Men, The New Mutants. In the 90s, I believe Toy Biz had most of the licenses for Marvel characters. And if we look at the X-Men figures they made, I can honestly say that it's probably the largest collection of mutant action figures you will find. I don't think any company before or since has even come close to the sheer magnitude of mutant figures that they produced. Heck, they made a Tusk figure. Tusk! And while the figures did vary wildly in quality and the things that they did, they were still very cool. But I'm getting off track. Magic was part of a 3-figure subset for the New Mutants, which consisted of Warlock, Wolvesbane, and of course, Magic. Unfortunately, Magic is the only one I have. I would really love to get my hands on that Warlock. Now, Pete, as you may know, I have quite a soft spot for the New Mutants team. So the New Mutants were created by Chris Claremont and Bob McLeod. Chris Claremont wrote them for quite a while, with Louise Simonson taking over, until Rob Liefeld got his hands on it. After that, it becomes X-Force. Before I start talking about the comic book character, Magic ends with a K, let's look at the action figure, who also ends with a K. Now, Magic comes with some really character-appropriate accessories, which is so cool. So Magic comes with her soul sword, and she comes with her crown. She's got a dress that snaps over her regular New Mutants costume. She has a spiky wrist thingy, and she's got some tops to her boots, which look like they could be made out of goat, which is for a reason. So this figure, when you put all the accessories on, goes from Magic to being the Dark Child, ruler of Limbo. But let's be honest, Pete, the coolest accessory that she has is Lockheed the Dragon. Or is it Lockheed the Dragon? I've never been entirely sure on that. I always say Lockheed, like Lockheed Martin, but it is spelt like Lockheed. Anyway, it's a flippin' dragon that comes with it, and the dragon can fire a rocket of fire out of its mouth. And while he's supposed to be able to balance on Magic's arm, I have never gotten that to work. So how's that articulation, Pete?
Her head can rotate left to right, but is stopped by the solid hair. Her shoulders can rotate 360, which is kind of cool. Her elbow goes back and forth. No wrist turns. No waist swivel. But she does have her hips to go back and forth. They are kind of shaped on a diagonal as well, which is kind of cool. Her knee joints go up and down, and so does her ankles, which is kind of cool as well. I found this one a little bit hard to pose, but at the same time, she is a very, very cool figure. Over to you, Anthony.
Okay, so Magic, once again, spelt with a K, just like Mask or Mortal Kombat, is the sister of Colossus.
Oh, now my intro makes more sense to me. Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
So her real name is Ilyana Rasputina. Her first in-comic book appearance is actually Giant Size X-Men 1, where you first see Colossus, and he actually rescues her from a runaway tractor. Fast forward a few years down the line, some evil shenanigans, and she ends up, still as a child, living at the X-Mansion. Alright, so her next major appearance, other than being background characters in a whole bunch of X-Men comics, was Uncanny X-Men 160, where she gets trapped in Limbo, and she ages 7 years. There is also a 4-issue limited series called Magic, which chronicles the time that she is stuck there. So while she's in this limbo dimension, she learns magic, hence the name, She also realizes that she's a mutant and has teleportation discs as her power. She also gains the Soul Sword, which is little parts of her soul that have been removed and forged into a weapon. Isn't that bright and cheery? So Magic is a reoccurring and regular character from New Mutants 14 onwards, all the way up to Inferno, where she raises hell, and in the end, spoiler, does get reverted back to her childhood self. Anyway, she's a fun and at times slightly dark character. And honestly, that's probably what makes her just that little bit interesting. I could go on about the character of Magic, but I feel that'll take us a bit too far away from the toys. One day, Pete, I'm going to have that comic book podcast. I've been told many times I have a face for radio. Okay, so let's be honest, Pete. The coolest accessory that Magic comes with is Lockheed the Dragon.
Oh, the crown's pretty good. What about the bracelet with all the little pointy things? No?
I mean, sure, he's a little out of scale, but he's a flippin' dragon.